Hey, Skeletons. I've been thinking recently about something that I think benefits a lot of people. Hobbies. I think a lot of people, maybe as I'm getting older, I'm noticing this. Maybe if I have any younger viewers, maybe older viewers might agree. People don't have hobbies. I think obviously we have to really establish, I think it's fairly subjective, what is a hobby versus what isn't a hobby. I don't know. I'm not the dictionary. I can't put any sort of specific on this, but I can have a personal definition of a hobby. It's something you do that engages your brain in a way that you can't just automate. So I already seeing some things that I'm picking on here. I think media consumption, TikTok and Netflix all day. I don't know if I consider that a hobby. I also don't know. I don't believe I consider video games a hobby. And I know that's going to be very controversial, but I'm really just going to do that one based on vibes. There's no information behind that one at all. I don't believe video games are an effective hobby for you to have. Maybe for some people that work a lot and they don't have very much time in the background. Video games is probably really good for you. Probably extremely good and super comforting. I think what happens is you end up like me, who plays video games too much, like every day for hours upon hours. And you end up like me. And it sucks. It sucks, dude. It really doesn't feel creative. And I had that problem ever since I got my first computer when I was like, I don't know, 10, 11? I don't know, 10, 11, 12. Whenever I got Steam, I was playing a TF2 on an E-machine. One of the oldie, I think like 2 gig RAM. It was a 1 gig RAM. I think it was 2. I don't know. It was so long ago, guys. I have no idea. Even then, I was getting sucked into the vortex that was I am playing and I am consuming, but I am not creating and I am not exercising my brain in the way that is challenging or different or is outside my comfort zone. And that's when I picked up paintball. I did paintball for a while. Paintball was really cool. I was fat, so I sweat a lot. I still am. I'm very fat. But I sweat up, it was a really big workout. My mask always fogged first match and never unfogged. That kind of killed it for me. I'm not going to lie. The fatness and being out of shape sucks. I could work on that. But the goggles, no matter what lens I bought or what goggles I bought, they just fogged up nonstop, even with fog spray and everything. Kind of kicked me out of it. It was expensive and it hurts. And enlisted, didn't really do much with my life while enlisted. You don't really have time for hobbies too much. It's just pretty much working a job you don't want to work. But when I got out, I had a job and I don't really know what my hobby was. I don't really believe I had one. I'm a big gun guy. I got a lot of guns. I got a lot of weird stuff. So I guess guns was probably it. I spent a lot of time with that, with gear, guns, whatever else, cool stuff. That was probably my biggest money sink, and I believe that was about it. I don't think I had any other weird phases or anything. Yeah, that was probably about it for hobbies as firearms, which is expensive, and when you're not making very much money, is pretty much the only hobby you can afford. Granted, I was able to afford it perfectly fine, but I just had to reassure you on my money stat. All right, as I was talking about, so hobbies now, I'm actually getting into archery. Super weird. I have a lot of British blood, and I want to avenge those who died at Agincourt in 1415, even though the British technically won that. Yeah, I don't know. Pretty funny. But yeah, archery's really cool, guys. Picking up a hobby has really helped me because I feel like I'm doing more than sitting behind a friggin' screen all day. Which sucks. Sitting behind a screen all day, I don't think is testing your imagination or doing anything. I think having a hobby that exercises your brain in some way, maybe fucking Minesweeper, Sudoku, tabletop games like Dungeons and Dragons, Lancer, whatever else you want to play, board games. Dude, I think really just doing anything that you love and want to sink your teeth into creatively is good. I think obviously some games make really good hobbies, or video games in general make, I don't really consider them, when you're like me at this point, it's not a hobby. It's just what you do. You're clocking in pretty much. You just have no wage and you kind of like it. So I don't really consider it like something different. Yeah, archery's sick, man. I gardened a little bit over the past 2 summers too. Super cool. You learn so much, man. You learn so much about something so different that you had no clue about forever ago. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I think getting a hobby is really important. I think it's almost like on the same plane of its importance as like working. I think people that work are really better off for themselves. And maybe that's more so what I should allude to. I know, very, very, very grandstandy. I'm on my marble ionic statue, or my pillar, my column, when I say that getting a job is a good idea. Well, I'm not working right now, and I probably won't be working for a minute. But getting a job, dude, made me feel like I actually had something to do. Even if it was slave for some weirdo that's making too much money, it still felt like I was doing something with my life. And I feel like that's super important. Outside of education up to, past high school is required. So it's not really something you have a choice in. After 18, I feel like you could really pivot your life in the horrible direction. And you'll end up just stuck in a rut. But ultimately, no matter what you end up doing, no matter what career path or what education path you end up going down, excuse me, you're going to have to have something to do when you're not fixing your life. So I've just always been on the side of hobbies. I think hobbies are really cool. I think a lot of women don't have hobbies nowadays. And I don't mean that offensively. I feel like there's not very many women open hobbies that are super comfortable and super cool to them. That doesn't get gatekept or is like, I don't know, just stupid. So I kind of give them on, but at the same time, I think women should get a hobby. Hobbies are sexy, man. I was really big into the hobbies. Hobbies are super attractive. It's one of the first things I look for whenever I start like dating or talking to someone is hobbies. Like, what do you do with your life? I don't really care about the work. Oh yeah, we could talk about the school a little bit, but what do you do when I'm not here, when the TV's not on? What do you do? And ultimately, that was just my big thing on hobbies. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what hobbies you have. And if I see anything absolutely insane, I'll make sure to reply to it, because I like to hear about when people's lives get crazy in the private time. Obviously, fucking, you know what I mean. All right. I'll see you guys.